do my best to explain it, about kind of my opinion of how the coaching and recruiting process works. To start off, this is to you guys. I can tell you this. Grades is really, really important. Your grades are very important. That is not cliche. I am not saying that to make your parents happy. I'm not saying that so you do a good job. I'm telling you that as a coach, when we're trying to recruit guys and get guys in, that grades is a big, big part of it. Money. Okay, there is money available depending on what university, what college you go to. Everybody has a kind of a different package deal or what they can offer. But there's a lot of academic money out there that you guys don't realize is a big help. I can tell you firsthand, I was not very good at this. I was a smart kid. I got A's and B's in high school, but I didn't push myself. And I lost out on probably a couple $1,000s each year. It took me 5 years to go through school. So a couple $1,000s each semester, times that by 5, that's a lot of money that I'm paying back right now. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, grades. It's super important. The other thing it does is it tells us this kid is dependable, this kid works hard, we don't have to babysit him, because at our level, we don't babysit at all. If you can't handle it, it's see you later, we'll find somebody that can. Okay, there's a lot that goes into it. The last thing we want to do is make sure you're going to class and going to study hall and putting the work in. Okay, so for us, when we see a good GPA, good ACT, it just means, all right, this kid can get stuff done. All right, he's self-motivated. He does what he needs to do to take care of business. All right, and I understand everybody is a little bit different when it comes to how smart you are and what class and all that. But I think your GPA tells a lot of who you are. Okay, so make sure that is a priority. Like I said, that's a mistake I made where I could have got a little bit better grade and got some free money. And I guarantee your parents will appreciate that as well. There's 346 D1s. Okay, I'm assuming since you guys are here, you want to play college baseball. Maybe your goal isn't D1, but that's fine too. There's a lot of great places to play baseball. Here's one of them right here. We're at the place. Okay, you can get a great education. You can get it paid for. You can get scholarship money. All right, but there's only 346 Division I. That means there's only 346 starting shortstops at Division I baseball. That's it. There's only 346 Friday night starters in college Division I baseball. And you're not going against your class. You're going against your class and 3 others. Okay, so if you come in as a freshman, now you're competing against everybody in the country for one of 346 starting spots at the Division I level. And I think if you put that in perspective, that's tough. Okay, it's really tough. Division I baseball isn't for everyone, but there's a place to play if you want to do it. Okay, I'll just go ahead and go right into it. I'm kind of going to be everywhere. I apologize. One great option is junior college baseball. The reason I just bring that up, I'm not saying that's better than anything else, but I bring that up because I feel like there's a stigma in baseball and amongst players that if you go to junior college, you're not very good, or you're not popular, or whatever the case may be. I can tell you right now, if your goal is to play Division I baseball and you're not getting offered or getting talked to going into your senior year, I'm not saying it's out of the cards, but it's probably rare. But junior college is a great spot. Number one, you get to go there and probably play immediately because there's just freshmen and sophomores. So you can get there and you can develop. 2, time. You can allow your body to grow. You can work your butt off in the weight room, become more physical. C, financially. A lot of junior colleges give absolute full rides. Okay? And I'll tell you this, and this is something I didn't know when I was going through the recruiting process. I thought I was getting a full ride at a Division I. I did. Not because I thought I was the greatest player or this or that. I just thought that's what happened. Football players get full rides. Basketball players get full rides. Okay? I just assumed, and I was mistaken. Okay? Division I schools have 11.7 scholarships. That's every Division I school in the country. It doesn't matter if it's Stanford or EIU. Okay? 11.7. So that means out of 35 people on the roster, 11.7 is divvied up. Now only 28 can be on scholarship and on money, but I don't want to get into that yet. I'll get into walk-ons later. But there's not much money. So good scholarship for our guys is 40%, maybe 50. Big time stud guys, okay, shortstops, catchers, pitchers, get about 60 to 65%, okay? At junior college, you can literally go to school for free and your living and your food. So everything paid for, okay? So with junior college baseball, you can go there, pay nothing or pay little, play every day, and get bigger and stronger. And what Division I's are not starting to do, but you're seeing it more and more and more, is D1s are going straight to JUCOs. They're recruiting junior college guys. On this past year, I think 16 of our guys were junior college guys, okay? Reason is they've went and they've proven themselves, okay? Maybe they were fringe guys in high school, fringe D1, fringe D2, and they went to a junior college, produced, and boom, okay? So with the draft, with grades, with homesick, with off-the-field problems, Division I's are always looking for guys to come in immediately. Okay, so the draft is going on right now. There's going to be some programs hit hard. So they're going to go to junior college guys immediately. Okay, who's the best guy out there that can come in right now and play? Because not very often can a freshman come in and start at a D1 program. Okay, does that make sense there? So a great example is right here. Casey Fletcher. I'll let him talk.
Yeah, guys.
I'll give you the base. He went to junior college and ended up at the University of Illinois. So right there, prime example. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, I was an undersized pitcher, outfielder, and from a small school in Central Illinois. I wanted to go to Division I so bad. My dad played at the University of Illinois. My whole entire life, I wanted to go to the University of Illinois. And so, senior year rolls around, and I'm looking for places to go to school, and Illinois wasn't calling. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in order to hopefully play at a Division I school someday. And I got the opportunity to go to Kankakee Community College for 2 years. Had 2 All-American years there. Got 200 at-bats in a season, which really helped me develop as a player those 2 years. I wasn't physically ready for Division I baseball. And even if I did go to Division I baseball as a freshman, I don't think I was going to be able to play. I wasn't going to be able to make an impact until my junior or senior year. So I went to junior college. I got 200 at-bats in a year. I developed physically. I got all my prerequisites out of the way as far as classes that you would probably be taking at a Division I school anyway. And it was a lot cheaper, and I got a full scholarship. So from the parents' wallet standpoint, it's a good option. Don't think of it as downplaying the fact that it's junior college. We live in an area that we have a lot of really, really good junior college options that you can go to, and a lot of really, really good programs. For instance, Parkland, we recruit all those junior colleges. We have a couple of kids coming from Parkland this year. We actually just recruited a left-handed pitcher from Kankakee, my alma mater, this year, and he's going to come in actually as a true sophomore. He was actually in the crazy story. He was a Marine for 6 years, hadn't picked up a baseball. And 6 years after high school, picks up a ball. He's 24 years old, and off the mound this year, he was 88 to 91. Cool story. We can talk about that all later. But
yeah,
anyway.
we tried to get him. Truth. We tried to get him. They ended up there.
Yeah. So, but don't think of junior college as, it's a bad route, yada yada yada. It's good. It's good for your parents' wallet. It's good for your wallet, and you can go there and develop as a player. And there is a lot of really, really good schools to go to. When I was a sophomore in junior college, had a couple of different options to go and play at some places, but honestly, deep down in my heart, I always wanted to go to the University of Illinois. It's where my dad played. It's where my grandfather played, and I wanted to go there so bad. And for you guys that maybe your dream school right now isn't calling or knocking on your door, you can go to junior college, and hopefully after 2 years they will be coming knocking at your door. But you don't just go there. You got to go there and you got to develop. You got to get bigger, faster, stronger, all those things, and you got to become an all-around baseball player. And that's just a little bit of my junior college experience. If any of you guys want to talk to me about it, more along of the insider details, you can come up and talk to me. Let's go.
Another thing that I mentioned earlier is walk-on positions. Every Division I has walk-ons. It is a must. 35-man roster, only 27 or 28, I can't remember, I'm sorry, can be on scholarship. Okay,
27.
27, okay, that's what. So that means there's 8 guys, is that math right?
Yeah.
8 guys that are walk-ons everywhere around the country. Okay, so that is a must. Some schools do it differently. I can tell you just from our perspective, some guys are straight walk-ons, some guys are 0.25 or 0.50. What that means is, hey, we really need you, we really want you, but we literally have no money this year. So you're going to be a walk-on, but then we guarantee money the next year. Okay? Some schools will just say straight walk-on, and if you produce and you do your job, then maybe they offer you money. Again, every program's different. I'm not going to speculate on how everybody does it, but walk-ons is a big deal. And again, I can't speak for other schools, but I can tell you right now that at our school, walk-ons have been a huge, huge, huge part of our program. Okay? We've had walk-ons be our Friday night guys. We've had walk-ons start as shortstop. I mean, I think, so 2 years ago, I just remember we had 5 walk-ons starting every day. It just so happened, man, they just got it done. They could play. They're the best players, so they were on the field. So again, if that word comes up, don't get taken back like, oh, they don't want me, or I'm not good enough, or anything like that. Okay? Obviously, it's tougher financially, and you want to say you're a scholarship player, but just understand every team needs them. Okay? And at least for us, I can honestly say they're a valuable, valuable piece of our team.
And think of it as an opportunity. I was a walk-on at the University of Illinois. They didn't give me any money to go to school, but obviously I wanted to go to the University of Illinois. Had a really good year my junior year, and then they offered me a scholarship, or they gave me money for the second year. So you got to do what's best with your opportunity. Don't think of it as, oh, it's a walk-on, you know, they're not giving me any money. It's an opportunity, guys. Think of it as an opportunity, you know, because not a lot of guys get that opportunity. So be thankful for that opportunity if it does arise.
So kind of switching gears a little bit, what do we look for? I mean, we get that all the time. Coach, what are you looking for? Coach, how do I go there? Truth, you gotta be good enough. That's number one. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot of things that follow, but that's the truth. Okay, this is a business. This is a complete business. If we don't win, we get fired. That's just exactly how it is. I'm gonna be upfront and honest. I feel like parents, that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear wishy-wash general statements. The truth is, you got to be good. You got to play. Okay? You got to have the tools. You got to field. You got to throw. Got to run. Got to hit. Got to hit with power. Okay? Pitchers, you got to have some velo. You got to have off-speed stuff. You got to have projectability. Those are things that we are looking for. Okay? Now, that's not it though, because you can. One of those sayings I always say is it's really, really, really hard to get your name circled. Meaning, ooh, I like that kid. Okay? It's really hard. You got to be pretty dang good. But it's really easy for me to put an X through your name. Really easy. Okay? Do you hustle? Are you respectful? Do you talk with your eyes facing my eyes? Are you this guy? Okay? That matters to me. Maybe not to some coaches. I can tell you, to me it does. Okay? Do you hustle? Are you a good teammate? Do you throw temper tantrums? What's your social media look like? Okay? All of those things are important. Okay? So I'm not going to lie to you and say that's the most important. Because you can be the most stand-up kid, but if you throw 60 miles an hour, we're probably not a good fit for you. It's probably not going to work. Okay? But if you have the skills and you have the character and you do the right things, that's the guy we're looking for. Okay? So just understand that, man. Body language, coachability, can you handle failure? All those things is what we look to. And I can promise you, social media, fellas, be careful. Be careful. We look, I promise you. We look, because we're making a commitment to you. So we're going to make sure we know who you are before we commit. Okay, does that make sense there? All right, just be very careful what you're doing on there. Unfortunately or fortunately, you can be judged in a way that maybe you aren't, but that's just the way it is. Okay, we use every piece of information that we have. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody? Okay. Another thing I get asked all the time is about videos, skill videos, emails. Okay. I can tell you I get all the emails, and I can tell you I check every one. But if you send me a 5-minute video, I'm not gonna watch all 5 minutes. Short, to the point. Okay? You don't need to spend a ton of money on big production things or go through companies. You don't. You need a cell phone and you need YouTube. And you need to just put it on YouTube and send us the link. We click the link, boom, there you are. Okay? If you're a hitter or position guy, 5 or 6 ground balls, 5 or 6 swings, and that's about it. All right, if you have a turf field that shows it's a 60-yard dash, go ahead and run it, because we can sit there with our stopwatch and time it. But if you're out here with cones, how do I know that's 60? A 60, right? If you're smart, you put it at about 55. All right, make it look faster. Does that make sense? So we're not gonna go with that. Okay, that goes to my other point. If we trusted every single kid, we'd be out of a job like that, because everybody throws 90. Every email, coach, I throw 90. Okay, yeah. You got to prove it. You got to show us, okay? So if you're a pitcher and you have a radar gun, or you know somebody has a radar gun, my biggest piece of advice, radar gun, camera, you're over there. So that when it says 88, I know it's 88. It's not you telling me you're 88. Okay, does that make sense? Not that we don't want to trust you, but again, our jobs are at stake here, okay? We everybody throws 90 in email. All right, we need proof, we need facts. Okay, does that make sense? So when it comes to that, parents, again, YouTube, camera, just your cell phone, put it on there. Now the other part of it, the message that you send to us, it's wild sometimes. We get full pages. You gotta understand, we get hundreds of these a day. We don't want a full page. Short to the point. My name is blank. I'm a 2020 grad. I'm from this school. I play summer ball here. Here's my schedule. Here's my video. That's what we need. Okay? I don't need to know that you had 47 hits in JV baseball. That's probably great. I don't know. I don't know what type of level you're playing, right? I have no idea about any of that. So when it comes to stats like that, it doesn't matter. Now, if you say, hey, coach, I hit 22 home runs in varsity, yeah, all right, we're going to pay attention to that. But honestly, when it comes to stats, it doesn't really matter. Okay? It doesn't really matter. I'd rather be straight to the point. Okay? The guys will say, coach, I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old and I love it and I'll do whatever. I'm sure you do, and that's awesome. But that's not what matters. Okay? We got to see you play. We got to see, okay, can this guy compete and succeed at this level? All right? Does that make sense there when it comes to emails? All right? So the other side, I'm kind of, again, all over the place a little bit. This is kind of more to parents as well. Something that I learned, and you guys as well, is this network is insane. It's crazy. It's almost like we have no hobbies. All we do is just gossip. All we do is talk about people. It's wild. I can't believe I'm part of it. But that's all we do. We call each other. We text each other. Hey, did you see this kid? Hey, did you see that kid? And I call it t-shirt snuffing. People that look at a t-shirt or look at a hat and go, I'm better than that. I'm better than that person, right? I've seen that. Parents have done that to me. I was at a junior college. I was at Rend Lake Junior College for a year as a recruiting coordinator there. I had just taken the job or got offered the job at EIU, right? It was about a 2 to 3 week transition. And so I'm recruiting for Rend Lake, but I know I'm going to EIU, so I'm recruiting for both. And it was wild to see some of the kids, and I know who the parents are. That's what we do. I mean, we got to find out, okay, where's he coming from? Who's the parents? And they looked at me and just kind of wasn't really interested in me. And they had no idea I was going to be at a Division I. Okay? Even before that, when I was at Rend Lake, I played at Missouri State. I talked to those coaches once a week. Okay? And in times where I was at Rend Lake, I'd see a player too good for Rend Lake. He's a stud. Okay? He's going to be a D1 guy. But they see Rend Lake, and they go, well, they don't know that I can easily just pick up the phone and call the head coach and say, hey, you need to come check this guy out. This is a kid you need. Okay? So my biggest advice to all of you, honestly, is just don't do that. Because everybody knows everybody talks to everybody. I promise you, if your son is too good for EIU, I will call people I know so they get you. Okay, I will do that. I'm trying to help them out, and you're a heck of a player. I want you to have the same. And I guarantee you that goes for every level of baseball. Every level. I've had a couple coaches that are NAIA guys find studs, call me, hey, you need to get this guy. Okay? Because you know, his talent level's better than NAIA. He knows he's a D1 guy. He's going to call me, so I get the first heads up. Okay? So just be aware of that everybody talks. And it's kind of unfair to you guys, honestly. With social media and everything, you guys are on the spotlight all the time. It really is unfair, but it is a reality. You guys need to understand that. Okay? Questions? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yes. How choosy do you need to be with junior college?
How choosy?
Yes. Like which one?
Which one? Okay, I got it, and this is going to go to my next point, and I think this is going to hopefully answer what you asked. When we have recruits come on campus, we talk about 5 categories. Okay, and for each and every one of you, you're going to rank those categories differently for what you want, what you're looking for. Okay, so to me, this doesn't have to do with EIU or D1. This has to do with college, anywhere. Okay, and those 5 categories are athletically, academically, financially, socially, geographically. And you decide which ones are more important, right? So athletically, can I go there and play? Can I compete? Nobody wants to sit on the bench, I promise you. I did it my freshman year and it was awful. Okay? Can I compete? Do I like the coaches? Do I like the players? Is it somewhere where I will be happy for 2 years or 4 years? Okay? Academically, do they have what I'm looking to do? Okay? If you want to be a rocket scientist, EIU is probably not the place to go. Okay? So, do they offer what you have? Does it make sense to go there academically? Can I succeed academically there? I probably couldn't have done a very good job at Yale, I'll just be honest. All right, so that probably wasn't a good spot to look. All right? Another one is financially. Can you afford it? Can your parents afford it? Where are you guys at? I mean, that's a huge part of it. Yeah, I wanted to go to Yale, but I couldn't afford it, and I wasn't smart enough. Well, why would I look at that place, right? So, financial is another big thing. Okay, what are we looking at total cost? Another one is socially. Do you want small school, big school? Okay, what kind of social atmosphere are you looking for? Okay, if you're looking for University of Illinois football atmosphere, don't come to EIU. We don't have that. Okay, if you want small, know everybody, walk to class and know people all around, we might be a good fit for you. All right, and the other one's geographically. You want to stay close to mom or you want to get far away as possible? All right? Me, I was right in the middle. I was 5 hours. It's beautiful. It's the most perfect thing for me ever. All right? It's far enough away but could get home in a day if I needed to. Okay? So to me, when you're looking at colleges, whatever level, I urge all of you, parents, ask your kids, ask your sons, what's the most important thing here? Okay? What's the most important thing? And then list those 5. Okay? And then if you find something that checks 3 or 4 of them off, go. Absolutely go to that place. Okay? If you get all 5, you're really, really lucky. If all 5 of those get checked off. But yeah, does that answer kind of? Okay? Obviously a winning program, right? You want to go somewhere that's good, that wins. So, any other questions? Thank you very much. Yes?
As far as like the 2019 grads right now,
Yes.
what part of the process should they be in? Just like seeing the videos and then following up with you
Yeah.
via email or calls, or how does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing to do is email. And I can tell you this right now, and this is, I'm being 100% honest. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to go to the school's camp that you're interested in. The reason why is because you got all 4 or 5 coaches right there. All right. So right here, there's just one of us, right? And it's okay, hey, and you talk. For us, it's a huge part of our recruiting. Okay. It's a huge part of our recruiting is when guys come to our camps. All right. I don't think he's here. Steve-O, you here? Okay, one of the kids is here. His brother is on our team. And talk about situation. He came to our camp. We didn't know anything really about him. Came to our camp, and he walked on for us. And since he walked on, he was our Friday night guy last year as a freshman. Got a scholarship. Okay? So I think I just kind of answered a few things there. But just to let you know, that really does happen. But when it comes to your question, send emails, send video, like I said, follow up, send schedules, okay? And then if you're truly, truly interested in that camp, to me, the best thing to do is to go to that camp, to that school's camp. Because you get to see everything, you get to be with all the coaches, and all the coaches can be there and evaluate you at the same time. Okay? Now, that's me personally speaking. I can't speak for anybody else in any other school. I'm not saying that's the only way. That's just my advice from what I know at EIU.
As far as a follow-up question to that,
Yes.
say you've gotten a few emails from the coaches
Yes.
asking for summer schedules. How do you follow up from then? Like, you just let it go until you see a camp, or do you give them a call or follow-up email?
Yeah,
Or?
call. Honestly, call. Email. Now, the email is the safest way. There are a lot of rules, and I'm not going to pretend to know all of them. But there are times where we can't call back. There's dead periods. There's all this. So if you call and you don't get something back, don't get too down, because you just never know. Okay. So there's a lot of rules we got to follow. You know the dead periods or anything?
I think is it like September 1?
Yeah,
maybe?
there's all kinds of just
It's
different
like 2
rules
weeks.
when we can talk to each class, and we got a whole schedule just to keep track of it. But that is tough for us, honestly, at times. So that kind of answer it, or
Yeah.
sure?
And don't feel pressure to, especially if you're at 19 right now and you're going into your junior year, to hop on the first opportunity that arises. You know what I mean? You can wait it out, enjoy the process. You know what I mean? Because some college coaches, including us, you know, when we're recruiting some guys, we will say, hey, you got 2 weeks to sign here. You know, you got to make your decision in 2 weeks. You know, which does put pressure. I understand from both sides. How it can be difficult to make that snap decision, especially, you know, your junior year or whatever. But just make sure it's the right fit for you, and don't hop on the first opportunity that arises.
In
Yes.
regards to that, follow-up on that, as far as the timing, what if you're a junior going into your senior year, as far as like this summer season would be critical, I would think. What kind of timeline, should you hear something, or?
I didn't sign until April of my senior year.
And I would say times have changed. It's getting earlier and earlier and earlier. I mean, I think 8th graders are signing now. It's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. The coaches hate it, but if they don't change it, they're going to keep doing it because they have to, because they got to keep their job. So, unfortunately, it's getting earlier and earlier and earlier. Truth, because I think that's what you're asking. That's what you're looking for. The truth is, it is never over. And I know that sounds cliche. I'll get to what is the truth, but everything changes. Like I said, the draft changes. Everything changes. So even though we might not be looking for a 2018 or 2019 right now, in a day it could change. Okay. Generally, if you're going into your senior year and you haven't talked to Division I's, nobody's reached out, I'd say your chances are pretty slim to go to one. Okay, I'm just going to be straight honest with you. Slim doesn't mean it's a no doubt, or it's not going to happen. Just slim. That's when I think you need to start looking at the D2, D3, NAI, JUCO. Okay, Coach here is going to talk about his program and what they're, maybe he can give you a better light on his. But when it comes to D1, I would be honest and say it's pretty slim. I think if you're going into your senior year and you haven't heard anything, it's slim. Just because the recruiting classes are filling up so fast. Just because we're signing 8th graders, we're signing freshmen and sophomores in high school, the spots are pretty much full. But the truth, draft happens, injuries happen, kids transfer happens, kids flunk out happens, and all of a sudden we need somebody, boom, maybe you're the next guy we call. Okay, so does that kind of answer that? Just want to be honest. Yes?
I just have a question.
Yes.
I guess I know the answer, but I think it would be important for the boys to know. As far as the email communications, you prefer that from the athletes
Yeah,
rather than the
yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, yes, ma'am. We don't like, at least me personally, when Grandma and Grandpa send me an email about Johnny, I delete it. I don't even look at it, to be very honest. When I talked earlier about looking somebody in the eye, right? What we look for, showing that you're responsible and you're a man. It's not your parents' job to get you to where you need to go. They're here right now, making sure you're here. It's your job here on out with the coaches. Okay, coaches don't want to talk to the parents until into the process of getting recruited. But initially, it's man to man here. Okay, all right. That you guys need to take over your careers. Okay. Yes.
I know the bigger schools have their own camps and stuff, but does JUCOs have camps and stuff during the
Sometimes.
season?
Yeah, sometimes they're more showcases is what they're
Okay.
called, and a lot of times they'll invite Division I guys to be there. I've been to a few of them. Red Lakes have one. I've been to Olney. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we invite junior colleges to our camp all the time. We're actually having one June 23rd. This is a good advertisement for it.
Don't plug in
July
here.
23rd.
Hey, ours is the next day, July 24th.
We're having one July 23rd, and we're going to have Parkland and Heartland there for sure right now. So Division Ones do invite junior colleges to their camp. So you just have to, whatever camp you go to, I'm sure there is a list of teams that it shows who is showing up. So that'd just be a good way of finding out what junior colleges are where.
But does the JUCOs actually have their own individual camps or no?
I worked a Heartland one.
Yeah,
One
I've worked
time,
a couple.
not very
Not-
much.
not very much.
Not very much.
I'd say check out their website. If they
Okay.
do, I would check Twitter or their website. I'm sure they'll have it posted if they're having one.
Or maybe even just surrounding schools around the junior college, because for example, Parkland and Heartland, they're around us, so that's why we're bringing them in, because it's close proximity.
Okay, sounds
So-
good, thank you.
Any questions for me? Yes, sir.
Do you know anything about the NAIA showcases? Like there's one in Chicago in July. Are those well attended, or are they just go online?
We have national ones at the NAIA. There's one in Chicago. I think there's one in Kansas City as well coming up. On well attended, I couldn't tell you. I've never attended one as an NAIA coach. I think it's more regional for where guys are at. Now that I'm a head guy, I'll probably send one of my assistants to it. But when I was an assistant at the NAIA, we were never sent to those. So I think it's just kind of at that level, what are the recruiting connections for the NAIA coaches? Some guys will do it, some guys won't.
Don't you want to go ahead and talk about NAIA and whatever goes along with it? What you're looking for, how you recruit, academics, money?
Give you guys a quick 5 to 10 minute rundown on the NAIA. So the NAIA is vastly different than the NCAA as far as what we're allowed to do, when we're allowed to do it. We don't have limits on our recruiting, so we don't have dead periods. We can call it any time and recruit. We have 12 full scholarships. Now, when I say we have 12 full scholarships, the school I coach at personally does not have that, but there are schools inside the NAIA that do have that. We're allowed to go to 12 full. Not everyone has that. So don't think if you're going to an NAIA school, they got a ton of money. So they're gonna have to fork a scholarship out. That's not the case every NAIA school you go to, but we are allotted up to 12 full scholarships for guys to play. Now we have different stuff. So I heard Coach when I was in there talk about grades. Grades are a big deal because we have deals where scholarships count as either half or count as zero towards our 12 allotment. So let's just say we have a guy that's a 3.9 GPA student. He counts as a zero. So let's say I had him on full tuition at our place. When I play him in the spring, I still have to pay him that out of my allotment that I have, but he doesn't count towards our 12 scholarships to play on the field. He counts as a zero. So if there's a little extra money or we're running up against our cap and we might have overspent for some extra guys, well, we can get some extra guys on the roster now because someone's a zero. If you're a 3.3 to a 3.7, you count as a half. So you're 50%. Whatever you get is 50% towards our 12 allotted, and then 3.7 and up is zero for the guys that play on the field. So grades do matter when we were looking at guys. You know, the NAI kind of the knock is, well, you guys don't take anyone with grades. That's a lie. We do really well in the classroom. I'm coming from Oklahoma Wesleyan where we had 14 straight semesters of a 3.0 GPA or better. So we do care about grades. Are there bad grades guys? Sure, there's bad grades guys at D1, D2, D3, JUCO, NAI. You're gonna find them everywhere. But we do care about grades because it helps us make our money stretch a little bit further. As far as practice time, we're given 24 weeks to compete during the course of the year. So you can break that up however you want. I was at a school in Iowa where we practiced 10 weeks in the fall, played 14 weeks in the spring. At Oklahoma Wesleyan, we did 8 weeks in the fall, 16 in the spring. And inside that, you can practice as much as you want, which is good sometimes. And sometimes I just want to go home and be with my family, so it's bad sometimes. But we can practice as much as we want. We usually go 6 days a week at the NAI level, Monday through Saturday. You get a lot of opportunity to practice. I think outside of us, the only people that can practice more than us is Division I JUCO. I don't think anyone else in the country can practice as much as we do, except for them, which is an advantage because if you want to develop as a player, you get a lot of hands-on work and a lot of chances to develop. We also have 0 rules on individual time with players, which I absolutely love as a coach. I get to spend a lot of time working with the guys because I don't have to worry about did I come up on a certain amount of hours that we're allotted with guys. We can just blow it out of the water. and practice as much as we want. So that's a benefit of us. You guys get the most amount of practice time possible. Game-wise, we play 55 games in the spring, so we get a bunch of games in, and then postseason play, if you get there, you can add another, depending how far you go, you can add another 12 to 15 games. So you can play a lot of baseball at the NAIA level. As far as what does the outlook of like campuses and everything look like, the NAIA is a lot of private institutions that have faith-based backgrounds. Now, is every school faith-based? No, but a lot at the NAIA level hold that value because the NAIA has certain core values. One is high character and the other is servant leadership, and that comes a lot in faith-based schools. So you find a lot of faith-based schools inside the NAIA. I know every place that I've been at in the NAIA, which I feel like is about 100 different places now, but I think I've been 4 or 5 different NAIA schools, and they were all faith-based in some way, shape, or form. So you get that aspect as well, which I think is nice for guys because you show up and there's not the partying, not the stuff off the field. It's school and it's baseball, and it makes it easy for me to recruit because we just tell guys, hey, if you want to party, or you want to go do that other stuff, just go to a different school because if you come play for us and that happens, you're gonna find yourself out of school in a hurry, looking for a new place to go. We just don't mess around with that stuff, so I love that about the NAIA. It makes life easier for me to recruit, and I can look at moms and dads and tell them we're gonna take care of your kid because we don't have to worry about partying and everything else. And again, if it happens, and I'm not saying every NAIA school is like the ones I've been at, but if it happens at the places I was at, guys just got shipped home and they had to find a new place to play. So that's another dynamic that's in the NAIA that you won't always find at a junior college or an NCAA school. So it's a different niche, I will say that. And then the last thing I would tell you is most NAIA teams now have adopted JV teams or varsity development teams, whatever you want to call them. But what I would say is it's a great opportunity for guys because at Oklahoma Wesleyan, we still gave those guys money because we knew one day they're going to help us, but maybe the first year they're not ready to help us. So we're still going to get them a bunch of innings and a bunch of at-bats down with the JV team. We had 2 guys actually on our World Series team at 17. If you would have told me that they were going to be big contributors on the World Series team, I would have said I quit because we're never going to the World Series when I had first gotten there. But the one guy, he pitched 3 years on JV. He won us the game to go to the World Series and won us the conference championship game to clinch the postseason championship. And then our starting second baseman was a pinch runner on varsity and a JV player for 3 years and was our starting second baseman senior year. I say that because some guys develop differently. At the NAIA, we can take a chance where it may be a Division I, where there's roster limits or D2 roster limits, you can't necessarily take that chance. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, these guys, like he said, you got to win to keep your job. And they're going to do a good job in recruiting to fill their roster. We get more of a leeway where maybe those guys don't. So it's a benefit for us because we can take chances on kids that I look at them and say, you know what, there's a chance he could play one day. Let's give him a little bit of money and see if this thing works out. So that's an advantage of the NAIA as well. And then finally, I think it's, if you love baseball, as I told you before, there's no place that gives you more baseball except D1 JUCO. So I think we're a great spot for guys who just love baseball and want to play a bunch and get a lot of work in and make themselves better. And there's always kind of the stigma of, well, it's only NCAA guys that get drafted. Is there a high percentage chance of Division I guys getting drafted? Absolutely. I would never run away from that. But the NAIA has got a lot of good players as well, a lot. I know at Oklahoma Wesleyan we've won 104 games and only lost 20 in the last 2 years, and it's because we had phenomenal baseball players on the team. So you're going to find good baseball at every level. I would tell you it's doing your homework and finding the right place because I think there's great Division II schools, there's bad Division II schools. There's great NAIA schools, there's terrible NAIA schools. And same with Division I. You're going to find good ones and you're going to find really bad ones. Do your homework, kind of like Coach said, and find the best fit for you. That's what I would tell you in the recruiting process. The NAIA is not for everyone, but it is for some people. Same with Division I, not for everyone, for some people. Do your homework and find a place that fits you best. Any questions on the NAIA? All right, thank you guys.
We got Coach here. He's going to talk about D2 a little bit.
What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Meyer. I'm the recruiting coordinator for Lindenwood University. To kind of back up on what Coach said, as far as NCAA, Coach might have hit on this earlier as well. We only get 15 hours a week with you guys in non-championship season. Who knows what that means? Anyone know what that means? So that's during fall. We get 15 hours. We get 15 hours of practice with you guys. Okay, so if you guys walk in our Lindenwood clubhouse, the one thing you guys are going to see on the wall is it says, "It's on you." So what is on you guys? Okay, is 15 hours a week enough time to get ready for the season? It's not, right? It's not enough time. That's where it comes on you guys. It's on you. It's on you guys to take hacks off the team. It's off you guys to get your throwing in. Don't get me wrong, we're going to be there. We're going to try and develop you with those 15 hours that we have, but it's not enough time. Even in high school, okay, when we're recruiting you guys at Lindenwood or at the D1 schools, D2, D3, NAI, it doesn't matter. We're not bringing you on for the person that you are that day. We're bringing you on for the person that you're going to be when you show up for first day. Does that make sense? So you guys are going to have to hold yourself accountable for that. But as far as it goes, it's on you guys. Okay? In the championship season, we get 20 hours a week. Okay? So we play 3 games on the weekend. We play Friday, we play Saturday, we play Sunday, and we have a midweek game. Okay? So we're counted for 3 hours per game. So Friday is 3 hours, Saturday is 3 hours, Sunday's 3 hours, Tuesday's 3 hours. How many hours is that? 12 hours. My math major's over here. 12 hours, okay? That's 12 hours. So we get 8 hours to practice with you guys. Okay, so let's take weight training. Let's say that you guys have 2 hours of workouts. Okay, that's 6 hours that we have to work with you guys. Okay, it's not enough time. As far as just showing up to practice, hitting in the cages, showing up to practice, it's not enough time. You guys have to get some stuff in on your own as far as development goes. Like I said, we're going to guide you guys there, but there has to be some stuff that's done outside of practice. Okay, as far as grades go, being a private school, Lindenwood University, it gets a little pricey at times, so it makes sense for us to go for the 4-year plan. We get better packages for the 4-year plan. As far as, I think the biggest academic scholarship that we give is $9,000, and I think that's a 26 ACT and a 3.8 GPA. That's $9,000. As far as JUCO goes, the highest scholarship that we give, or transfer, is $5,000. So our packages are better with the 4-year guys. As far as our transfers, our freshmen next year, I think we have 21 freshmen coming in next year. So it's a pretty young team. And as far as what we're looking for at the Division II level, we're looking for those guys to help us year one. Whether that be developing a curveball or a slider. We just need one pitch from freshman year. We just need one pitch. That's all we need. How is this guy going to help us freshman year? Is he going to be a pinch runner? Is he going to be defense? Is he going to help us on offense? Maybe his defense has to come up a little bit. But as far as pitching goes, we just need one pitch. Does that make sense? That's all we need. We need that one thing that's going to help us win our freshman year. And if you guys have that, then we're gonna hope that you develop into the player that that we want you to be. As far as when you're fully developed, when you can throw 3 pitches for strikes, when you can hit for power, when you have good range. As far as grades go as well, fellas, staying eligible is so important, especially for a program. Not selfishly for us. Our shortstop this year was a SEC kickback. He was an SEC transfer, and we were going to have him for 2 years. Going into this next season, he's ineligible. So that puts a bind on us. So we're having to overpay for a shortstop right now, because our shortstop currently is putting us in a bind. So now that's affecting other guys on the team as well. Make sure you guys get it done. Not only going into college, but when you guys are in college, make sure you guys are taking care of business off the field as well. The one thing that we take, 39 guys last year, 39 guys out of 45 guys had a 3.0 or better on our roster. 39 guys. Pretty impressive. 2014 and 15, 15 and 16, we were recognized on a national level. For the past 13 semesters straight, we've had, as a team GPA, a 3.2 or better. This past year, we actually won the men's highest GPA on campus. We take a lot of pride in our academics, a lot of pride. And we get it done on the field as well. Last year, we made it to the World Series. We won the MIAA, which a lot of people compare it to the SEC of Division II. It's a tough conference. Central Missouri, UCO, Missouri Western. It's a tough conference. Those are some bad boys. They compete. So we get it done on and off the field, fellas. That's just the type of guy that we look for. We look for high character guys. Does anyone have any questions for me as far as the Division II level goes? Hours or grades or anything?
Keep track of all the hours.
So we have what's called SAC representatives, our student athlete center. Basically, what it is these guys meet with the student athlete representatives. They meet with compliance. They meet with compliance every 2 or 3 weeks. And basically, what they do is they make sure that they're holding us accountable. So our own players are holding us accountable, and they're very well represented within the school.
As far as walk-ons, I want to talk about one kid you actually know of, Tyler Kasmer. He was a 2018. He came and played at Lindenwood University, and he played on our facility. And he said, "I'm going to come here. I'm coming to this school." He told our head coach, "I'm coming to this school." And coach was like, "We don't have any room for you." It's like, "I don't care. I'm coming to this school." It's like, "Well, we don't have any money for you." "I don't care. I'm coming to this school." Came to our school freshman year, pitched. Not only did he earn a starting spot in the rotation, he earned a scholarship, and now he's coming back next year and he's going to be a Friday night guy. He also won Freshman of the Year. Okay, don't give up. Keep fighting. Work hard. I promise you, it's in there. You just got to find it. You just got to compete physically and mentally, fellas. This is a kid that was a walk-on who told the head coach that he is coming to this school and he's going to earn money and he's going to earn that Friday night spot, and he won Freshman of the Year. Okay? He told me he's going to come back next year throwing 95. He hasn't lied to me yet. He hasn't lied to me yet. Now he's going up to pitch in Northwoods. He's a freshman going to pitch up in Northwoods, so it's pretty exciting stuff. But that's what I have, guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well done. Okay, that's pretty much it. Any more questions at all? Okay, I'll leave you with two things. Not awe-inspiring, sorry. Kind of boring, to be honest. Parents, FAFSA, sign up for that as soon as possible to see if you're eligible for any type of grants, aid, stuff like that. There's money everywhere. It's crazy. You can find a scholarship because your name starts with a B and you wear a size 13 shoe and throw left-handed. There's a scholarship out there for just that person. It's crazy. There's scholarships everywhere. So make sure you're looking for that. Do your FAFSA as well as soon as possible. No matter what school you go to or whatever, it's a free thing online just to kind of see where you're at and if you can get any help there. And the last thing I'll say to you guys, and probably should have said it earlier, but weight room, fellas. Weight room, weight room, weight room. This game is getting so physical, it's scary. I couldn't imagine playing right now, honestly. So when our guys come in, they're way behind, but they have to get after it to catch up. So as soon as you can start that, get in the weight room, get more physical. Again, it doesn't matter what level you go to. That's going to be a huge part of your development. You look at the major leagues now, 90% of them are huge, even the pitchers. A lot of them are just huge and strong and powerful. So make sure that is a priority as well. I can tell you, if you've never lifted before, obviously be careful, but just do research. You just got to get in there. Right? YouTube stuff. All right, how do I do this? How do I do that? Go with a buddy. Go with your parents. Something. But get in there and start working. Okay? All good? Everybody good? Okay, I appreciate it. Players, we'll get started in 5 to 10 minutes. You guys can do whatever you need to do.